when a lot of the stigma behind just running to a new man disappears, then it's the answer for everything. It's the cure-all. That's the problem with the West. The reason the West is impossible to find a wife is because she's been through so many dudes before you. The second you half annoy her 1%, well, her answer is new dude. So that's just her answer. So you can't ever have any half an argument. You can't miss a good morning text.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's garbage, right?
Andrew Tate destroys these two modern women in this debate over relationships as Andrew Tate takes a blowtorch to feminist idea that you can have all the benefits of a high-value man, his money, security, future, and be able to tell him what to do, revealing exactly why these women will stay single forever. Let's get in.
Realize this. I did a video the other day about how men secretly like gold diggers. They like entitled women, and everyone came for me. But the reality is men invest first, then love it. Whatever it is, whether it's stock, shares, crypto, once they've invested, then they start seeing the value in you. Before investment, they don't. So the girl that doesn't ask for anything and doesn't challenge a man, she actually loses her value with men.
But you can still be a nice girl and ask for things. You can definitely be a nice girl and still ask
Can I have
for
some
things.
money?
You don't have to.
Clickbait that. No, I know what you're saying. It is interesting. But I think that even if you were to look at, let's say, lonely men, lonely women, a lonely woman is a woman with a bunch of choices, but she doesn't want any of them. A lonely man is a man with no choices. And they're completely different things.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying about the girl who gets a guy who does anything for her and hustles her and gets money and the clinic and all this stuff, but girls don't normally want those men. They don't. They want the top tier guy who barely replies. That's the reality.
Sorry,
you have to look at
it's very true.
You have to look at us also, not just societally, right? Because a lot of the things we do don't make societal sense. But evolutionarily, we're different. We're animals. We evolved a certain way. And women like the idea of a top tier male, whether physical specimen or status or finances, etc. And that's never going to be the guy who's like the beta who works hard and gives you all his cash. And you have to make a choice as a woman, and it is a difficult choice to make. If I was a girl, I don't know which one I'd choose.
But as a man, do you want the girl that's the hottest girl in the room, or do you want that simple girl that no one would look at?
And she's the hottest girl in the room.
Yeah,
but
then that's the same dichotomy. That's the same dichotomy that women face.
We speak off camera, a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
And we've had private discussions many times.
Yeah.
And it's always, we should appreciate, like, there's women. Like, I spoke to one friend who's very wealthy, and he has a baby mother, whatever, like you call. And he goes, why am I spending money on these hoes, sorry to say, the term, when I've got a woman who's a ride or die? And he said, like, I got to an age where I'm putting all my effort into her. Whatever happens, I realise it's an hour after shower, all women are the same.
Yeah, the same
hour
shit.
After, same as men. You get used to them.
Yeah.
The lust goes, and it comes down to who's a rock, who's there when you had nothing, who's that, and that's the main key. Who's raising your kid while you're out having fun? Yep. She's sitting in that house, looking after a kid. As men, we know, babysitting a child for 2 hours is like, she does 24/7. The meals, the education, tells them what's right and wrong, potty training, whatever.
Yeah.
The older you get, you sit back and think, you know what, that woman deserves respect.
But in that process, you've hurt her a lot.
Men, unfortunately, where men have, like you said, it's not a good thing.
No.
Men are built in a certain way without God. And then my tells Allah in the holy book in scriptures. If I wasn't a Muslim, I'd be worse than anyone. No, my boundaries are set by God.
Right.
Yeah.
But so it's instinctive.
You can find men who do not have that, who do not seem to have that desire to go out, and even though, let me tell you one more thing first, societally. Men look at the world slightly different than women as well. We look at the world in terms of like completed tasks. If a man gets a Porsche, he goes bang, tick off, okay, I got a Porsche, when am I getting a Rari? That's just it.
Yeah.
I got a house, okay, cool, when am I getting a mansion? That's just how and in the world we live in, men are hyper competitive, right? So the second you get something, you're not allowed to really look at it and enjoy it too much. You got to go on to the next thing. And unfortunately, we do that with women. We want to go bang. Okay, she's a solid chick. She's home. She ain't cheating. Boom. Okay, let me get another hobby. That's just how we are, right? Which is part of it societally. But also from an evolutionary perspective, yes, we're evolved to do these things. And you can find men who don't seem to have the instinct to chase those of women, but that's going to be the same man who doesn't have the instinct to chase those of money, get power, get influence, be the top dog. The top dog is going to be the top dog in everything. And if you find that guy, if you find a dude who's out there and he's truly top dog across all spheres, he's not going to ignore this part of his life, unfortunately. Unless something like religion, but it has to be a conscious decision. It has to be something you decide.
He has to actively decide.
You have to actively decide. If you're just going to say, what do I feel like doing? Well, I feel like leaving her there and going out with the boys. That's what I feel like doing.
A few moments back, he's right. Women do want that bad guy. Like, I remember a guy who was a mugshot.
Yeah.
He's a model now.
He What's his name again?
Jeremy.
He's handsome. He was dating
everyone was
someone
sharing this picture. Oh, he's so hot. He's a convict. Why don't you say the same thing about Jimmy Savile?
because he's not hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what this guy's a criminal. So, for example, they're promoting a guy who's had a mugshot. Who knows what he's done? It could have been no one cared what he did.
Yeah.
He's cool. Why? They love that whole image which portrayed through hip hop and movies. Bad boy, cool. And then they complain.
Yeah.
I haven't got the good guy who works 9 to 5, loves me, holds my hand, massages my neck. I've seen guys do that to a wife, and I've been pulled up and going, you're not affectionate. So,
but isn't it the same? I know, I hate to be this person who's always like, oh, but isn't it the same? We get Laurie Harvey, who's stunning, beautiful. Guys want to be her, but they know she's not. She's a male. Oh, you know who Laurie Harvey is? How do you guys not know who Laurie Futures? Okay, let's take a really hot
Queen
girl.
Rania.
Oh, let's take
I see Queen Rania.
Yeah, you like a nice girl, yeah.
Classy, powerful. Queen Rania for me.
Yeah.
Who's
your celebrity crush? Do you have a celebrity crush?
He doesn't even know.
No?
He's not on social media.
Yeah, but the top tier girls who's the sexiest, and she's also going to come with problems. Beautiful girls are hard work. They're not easy.
Like you said, we change with age and evolve. I've got to a point where I find powerful men attractive, but who raise kids, who are side by side with her king, or whatever. I love that. For me, there's some shakers here who are influencers. I respect. That's what I see as a woman. When you're young, Samantha Fox when you're a young kid, this, that, but Pamela Anderson, but that's just perversion.
Yeah.
So it's also very difficult. Like, I have so much respect for women who really stick by their men and, do it for the family.
Yeah,
it's so hard to find these loyal women nowadays, and I really think it's because of the influence of these, influencers. I mean,
when a lot of the stigma behind just running to a new man disappears, then it's the answer for everything. It's the cure-all. That's the problem with the West. The reason the West is impossible to find a wife is because she's been through so many dudes before you. The second you half annoy her 1%, well, her answer is new dude. So that's just her answer. So you can't ever have any half an argument. You can't miss a good morning text.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's garbage, right? So you need that stigma there.
Yeah.
And when that's gone, it's difficult. And relationships as a whole are difficult. If I was a girl, I have no idea what kind of guy I would date. Because do you really want that dude? Who, do you really want that guy?
Would you date you? That's the
well, the thing is,
that's a good question. Would you date you?
I'll tell you all the good and bad about it.
Yeah, go ahead. I think we should all do. You tell me yours. Go on.
But let's apply it to something. Let's look at men like cars. If you want a Ferrari, everyone else is going to be jealous of your Ferrari, and it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be a bunch of fun, but it's never going to be as reliable as a Nissan. To sit and say, I want a Ferrari reliable like a Nissan is unrealistic. Right. You have to make a choice. Now, some people choose Nissans because all they care about is reliability. If you're going to be like, I want a guy, like you said, the nice guy who does this, you can get a Nissan. But any girl can get a Nissan any day of the week, and they never seem to want them. But you can go out there right now and find a dude who's going to pay your bills, do this, do that. You're both beautiful very easily. But then you look at the Ferrari and you want the Ferrari. Well, the Ferrari comes with a bunch of problems. It's unreliable, it's expensive, sometimes doesn't want to work, whatever. Yeah. That's it. So you have to choose what kind of guy you want.
So you are.
I am 1,000% Bugatti Ferrari. I am trouble.
You're gonna.
No, but I mean, I'll be, because we're on a podcast, I'll be brutally honest. The kind of guy I am. Yeah. I believe in taking care of a woman. I think if a woman's mine and I can trust her and she's loyal, I would make sure she's financially taken care of. I think that's actually how men show a lot of their love.
Yeah.
I think a lot of love is shown by making sure the house is stable, paid for, finances. They ain't got to worry about nothing. I think that's how love is shown. Women primarily show their love through sexual exclusivity. I'm not saying I'm going to be out there and being a massive cheater or something, but I am the kind of guy who, I'm out. Oh, well, you said you're coming home. I said I'm out. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Like I'm busy. And that's just who I am as a person. But I don't think if a woman looks to me and goes, I want Tate and all of his status and all of his fame and all of his money, but I want him to do as I say, well, then you're delusional.
Let me know down below if you agree with Andrew Tate that these modern women are just simply delusional. And we know through the social media apps, all the dating apps, that the majority of women try to go for the top 5, 10, 20% of whatever guys. But those are the guys that Andrew Tate is talking about. Those are the guys with the money, the wealth, the power, the Bugatti, whatever it is. They're the ones who have exclusivity because they're in the extreme minority of men. But all of these women who, they're 5s who think they're 8s, whatever, all of these women want these same guys. No, but you have to play by his rules. You're not the prize in this situation. He's the one in high demand and you're the one in surplus. And with the internet, social media, these dating apps, so many of these women think they have a chance at getting these men. So these are the only ones they end up looking for. And in the end, they get left behind and they're too old, left over, and they never appreciated the regular guys that they could have had a long-lasting marriage with. But hit that like button and notification bell if you're enjoying the video. And if you want to help support the channel, check out the link down below, and let's get back in.
So hold on, you're really diplomatic. You still haven't answered the question. Would you date yourself?
Well, this is the thing. Okay, let me give another politician's answer. Another politician's answer. Women seem to want to date men who are at that absolute top tier of status who they can't control. That's who women choose. Let's forget, like, would I date me? That's who women choose. Let's look at who women as a whole are choosing. When Chris Brown walks in the club and the girls start screaming, not a single one is thinking he's gonna be loyal and stay home. It doesn't cross their mind. They don't give a shit. It's all status, 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 status. So if you're gonna find a guy with that much status and all them options, plus his biological programming, you're gonna have fucking trouble. You're not gonna have Mr. Dependable.
But are you gonna attract a good girl? Are you gonna attract a wife with that kind of a status, or are you gonna attract a hoe?
I think
because a wife is going to look at a Chris Brown and see that lifestyle and think, amazing, I would love to be with him, but there's no point. We're never going to get married. So what kind of woman are you going to attract?
Well,
with
that comes into that's where the game gets difficult, right? Because Chris Brown can walk with that good girl out of the club and he can convince her that he will be good to her.
Well, he's not going to find a good girl in the club.
Yeah. Well, not in the club, but you know what I'm saying.
But, yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
Still a part of being a
good girls,
girl is being able to vet
good girls do not avoid high status males. Not at all. Good girls, they may not stick around as much or something like that, but good girls do not avoid high status males. High status males do not have any disadvantage across any of the playing fields at all. It doesn't matter if you're a high status male who's the most famous man in the world has an advantage with virgins and hoes alike. The exact same. He's that guy. That's it.
Yeah, these modern women are delusional to think that they can find a guy with status, well, who has it all and still be able to somehow control these men. No, I'm sorry, sweetheart. You are along for the ride because this is his show and he's the one who gets to make the demands. But these modern women simply don't even know how the dynamics work or even how to date. So they might be able to get knocked down by this guy, but none of them even remotely know how to keep them. But thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what Andrew Tate had to say destroying these two modern women in this clip. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.